Welcome students, I am Punjika Rathi, Assistant Professor in IMS Engineering College Ghaziabad. Today we will discuss a very important investment avenue in our country, which is mutual fund. You must have heard the phrase mutual fund sahi hai, mutual fund are subject to market risk. So, whether what kind of instruments they are, whether we should invest or not. So, let us discuss about them, how they are important for any expert who is in the financial market, for any portfolio manager and for any finance expert. So, let us start. Mutual fund is the investment avenue. It is the vehicle where people invest their money. So, what mutual fund is? Mutual fund is representative, it is represented by the diagram here. There is the investors, they have some pool of money, they have some money they want to invest, and but they are not the market experts, they have different needs and objectives. So, what they do? They went to a mutual fund manager. So, there is a mutual fund manager who collects, who pools the money contributed by various investors, and then he invests this pool of money into different areas as per the needs and objectives of the investors. So, then what happened is there is a portfolio is being created by the mutual fund manager. So, this portfolio is having a mix of the securities, maybe these mix of securities are deposited in the equity, in the debt or some hybrid instruments. So, these securities would be earning some returns. So, this return would be, there would be the returns, and this return would be distributed among the investors. So, what happened is that mutual fund is being created as a trust which pools the savings of several investors who share a common financial goal. They have some different purposes. For example, there are people who want a regular income, there are some people who want tax relief. So, as per their needs and objectives, this money is being invested, and then this money collected is invested in the capital market instruments, for example, shares, debentures and other securities. Then these securities would earn the returns. These returns may be in the form of capital appreciation, that is the change in the market value, or there may be some interest or dividend which is being earned by these securities. So, this return would be distributed among the unit holders. So, who are the unit holders? Unit holders are those people who have contributed their money towards the mutual fund schemes. So, this is how mutual fund works, this is how the investment avenue is. Then what are the types of the mutual fund? As we were saying that there are various kinds of needs of the investors, there are various kinds of investors in the market. So, accordingly there are various types of mutual fund. You must have heard about various terms associated with mutual fund. You must have heard about the index fund, the ETFs, the fund of funds, the hybrid funds, interval funds, open ended, close ended. So, let us discuss these terminologies in detail. So, we have here in this chart I have divided the mutual fund into various types according to different objectives. So, on the basis of the number 1 we are discussing on the basis of the asset class. Now, here the meaning of asset class is means, since I had said in the initial slide that the money which is being generated is invested in some securities. So, if I say according to the type of the securities where the money is being invested, the mutual funds can be of various types. So, number 1 is equity fund. Equity fund, it means here the objective of the investor is that he want to invest his money in the shares, in the equity funds. There are various kinds of shares in the market. There are mid cap funds, there are small cap funds, there is large cap fund, there are blue chip funds, there are defensive funds, there are cyclical funds. So, accordingly what is the objective of the investor, where he wants to invest, whether he wants to invest in those companies which are the market leader. So, Here it would be called as the blue chip funds. If he wants to invest in some industries, in the shares of those industries which are not affected by the stage of the business cycle. For example, defensive shares. For example, there is pharmaceutical, there is FMCG, their shares are not affected so much by the industry or the economy related factors. So, this is how equity funds are being provided. Then there are debt funds. So, if I say what are debt funds? Debt fund means there is a fixed kind of income and the investment is in those securities which are giving a fixed income. For example, there is investment in bonds or in debentures or in those securities which are providing a interest. Then there are the money market funds. So, money market funds are those funds where the investment into the money market instruments. What are the money market instruments? Treasury bills, commercial papers. So, when the money is being invested in not in the capital market instruments, but in the money market instruments, they are called as money market funds. Then there is hybrid funds. Hybrid funds means in these funds the money is invested in the mix of both, in mix of equity or debt instruments or money market instruments. There is a mixture of different kind of securities. So, that is why they are called as the hybrid funds. Then on the basis of the structure, they are open ended, close ended and interval funds. On the basis of structure, they are open ended, close ended and interval funds. Open ended funds are those which can be purchased at any point of time from the issuer, from the mutual fund company, from the AMC. It means that these funds are open for subscription as well as for redemption during the lifetime. It means there is no fixed maturity period of these kind of funds. Means I want to purchase them, I can go to AMC and I can purchase them. I want to sell them, again I can go to the AMC, I can contact my portfolio manager and I can sell them. So, they are called as the open ended funds. It means they are not they are available to purchase directly by the issuer. They can be directly bought and sold through the issuers. Issuers are the mutual fund companies. Then there are the close ended funds. Close ended funds are kind of opposite to the open ended funds. So, here they are available for subscription from the issuer only for a period of time. So, when that time period would closed, so then the investor, the client can purchase them through the stock exchanges. It means one can purchase them directly from the issuer only for a fixed time, for a fixed duration of a time. It means they have a fixed maturity period. It means they have a fixed maturity period. After that, they can be sold at the stock exchanges. Then there are interval funds. Interval funds are mix of the open ended funds and the close ended funds. They have resemblance to both open ended and close ended. So, if I say what do you mean by interval funds? Interval funds are those which are open for subscription and redemption during intervals. It means there are some time periods during which they become open ended and then there are time periods they become close ended. It means during the open ended time period they can be purchased from the issuer and during the close ended time period they can be purchased through the stock exchanges. Then on the basis of the goal, what is the goal of the investor, what is the objective of the investor, what he wants, what is his ultimate need. So, on that basis it can be growth fund. When we say growth fund means here the investor wants that he should have a capital appreciation, his money should be appreciated. It means he do not want a kind of fixed income or regular income, but he wants whatever he is investing that should grow. So, how it would grow? When it is invested into some companies shares or stocks which are performing well in the industry. So, here the shares, generally shares are purchased in this scheme. Then second is income funds, as the name suggests, income. So, here the mutual fund manager would invest your money in those securities which are providing a regular income. Here the investor wants that he should get a regular income over a fixed duration of time, maybe after 3 months, after 6 months. So, then the mutual fund manager would be investing your money in the debt, in the debentures, or in the bonds, or in the money market instruments. Then there is the liquidity funds. Liquidity funds are those mutual fund schemes where the money is invested in those instruments which are liquid. It means they can be the maturity should be less than 3 to 6 months. So, then they are very liquid, they are easily marketable. Then tax saving, the investor wants that he should have some tax relief. So, when he is going to pay a tax, he wants the liability of his tax paying should be decreased. For example, there are ULIPs, there are equity linked saving schemes. So, on these schemes the investor would get the relief as the income tax relief. Then his objective can be that he wants to invest in those securities which have a fixed maturity period. It means he wants that his money should be returned after a fixed period of time. Then there is pension funds. Here the investor wants that he should get a fixed kind of salary or income when he retires, means after his retirement age. So, when he is in the old age, he should get a regular flow of money. So, then he would want that the money should be invested in the pension funds. Then on the basis of the specialization, these are also called as solution oriented funds. So, they are basically kind of solution to different problems which are prevailing in the market. There are index funds. Index funds are those mutual funds where the money is invested in those securities which are representing a particular index. For example, there is a Nifty. It means Nifty is made up of 50 companies. So, it means the investment would be into those 50 companies by which Nifty is made up of. So, the performance of these funds would be reflected by the performance of the Nifty. Then there are exchange traded funds. Exchange traded funds are those which can be traded on the stock exchanges. Then there are sector funds. Here the money would be invested in some securities of a particular industry. For example, if the fund is invested only in pharmaceutical companies, so we will say this mutual fund is sector fund. Then there is a very innovative term, funds of funds, or it is denoted by FOF. FOF are these mutual funds where the mutual fund manager is investing your money into particular mutual funds. It means these funds are based on another mutual funds. The money is invested in the mutual funds or in some other schemes. So, here we come to know that there are large number of mutual fund schemes available in the market. One can purchase from a variety of schemes according to the type, according to the objective, according to the need, according to the corpus of money which he is having. Then moving on further, if we say who are the participants in the mutual fund industry. So, what is the structure of the mutual fund industry, how the mutual funds are made up of. So, we will say it is a 3-tier mutual fund structure. As you see in the board, there are 3 tiers of the mutual fund. Tier number 1 is the sponsor, number 2 is the trust, and number 3 is the asset management company. So, how these tiers are? There is a sponsor. The sponsor is that party who thinks that I should enter into the mutual fund industry and I should sell some mutual fund schemes. So, what he do? He goes to SEBI and he registered himself as the sponsor. This is a corporate body which has to be registered with the SEBI, as the sponsor. As the name suggests, he would be sponsoring, he would be promoting some company. So, what is the function of a sponsor? That he is the promoter of the mutual fund. He would go to SEBI for the registration and he would meet the SEBI's criteria, and then he would form a trust. Sponsor would form a trust. Then what is this trust? Trust is also a body which has to be registered with SEBI, and as the name suggests, trust is, it means having a faith. Whose faith? Faith of the investors. So, the main function, the main objective of forming a trust is that he should or the trust should protect the rights of the investors, the unit holders. What he would do? He would check on asset management companies. He would check whether these funds, whether these schemes are good for the investors, or is there any hidden motive. Then this trust, how this trust would act? Through the board of trust. There is a board where would be having the members, and these members would make sure that fund is managed in the best interest of the policy holders. It means it is the internal regulator of the mutual funds. So, this is how mutual funds are internally regulated by the trust. Then third tier is that trust approves the asset management companies. Who are the asset management companies? Asset management companies should be registered under the, they should be registered under the Companies Act, and it should be a corporate body which is registered under the Companies Act, and this AMC is sponsored by the sponsor. This AMC is sponsored by the sponsor, and it would look after the day-to-day management of the funds. It would, the capital of AMC is contributed by the sponsors. It would initiate the mutual fund schemes in the market, and it would start its operation. And how it is governed? It is governed through the trust. So, this is how a mutual fund company is formed. Mutual fund company is not a single entity, it is made up of 3 tiers as I have suggested: sponsor, trust and the asset management company. Then are some other important parties in the mutual fund industries are unit holder. Unit holder is the person who is having the mutual fund, who is the buyer, who is investor, who is contributing his money towards the investment. Then the custodian. Custodian is the party who is keeping a track of the shares or the securities of the investors and providing the services. Then there is a transfer agent. Transfer agent is looking after how the funds are, how the securities are transferred from one person to another person, and he is keeping a record of it. Then there is a regulatory body which is called as SEBI, and what is the purpose of SEBI? SEBI regulates the entire capital market as well as the mutual fund industry. So, there are SEBI regulations called as SEBI Mutual Fund Regulations 1993. These are SEBI Mutual Fund Regulations 1993, under which the mutual funds are being regulated by SEBI 1993. These were the first regulations which have controlled the entire mutual fund industry. Then, why should one invest in mutual fund? You must be wondering that how the investor or the policy holder or the mutual fund holder would be benefited by the AMCs, by the mutual fund schemes. Number one objective is diversification. Here I would write diversification means reduction of risk. What is the meaning of diversification? Diversification means investing your money in different securities so that total risk should be reduced. So, when your money is invested in equities, in debt or in some innovative instruments, in the money market instruments, so this is how your investment is diversified, and since it is diversified there would be less risk. The unsystematic risk would be reduced, and there would be only market risk. The mutual funds are professionally managed. What does it mean? That there are portfolio managers, there are mutual fund managers who are experts in their areas. They are skilled into managing your portfolio. They design your portfolio. They continuously they buy and sell securities so that the investor can achieve the positive return. Then there are higher returns as compared to other instruments. Mutual funds would provide you higher returns because, as I have already said, the risk has been minimized and there is professional management, and that is why they would achieve greater return than another kind of investment avenues. High liquidity means whenever you want to sell, you can sell. There is a secondary market available for selling the mutual fund scheme. One can easily sell the schemes in the secondary market. So, that is why it would be highly liquid. Transparent process and tax efficient. When we say transparent process, it means that the AMCs need to publish a number of records with AMFI. They have to publish their NAVs, and there is AMFI, that is Association of Mutual Fund Industry. So, they would publish the information time to time for the benefit of the investors, and the NAVs are also published on daily basis, and it is tax efficient. What does it mean? That mutual funds are tax savvy. So, there are, if the investment in the equity shares, there are equity linked saving schemes, there are ULIPs, they would get the tax exemption. So, if there is investment into the tax saving areas, so then the investor would get the tax relief. Economical. We say economical, it means it is less costly. How it is less costly? Because there is large volume of trade. Since we are not directly purchasing, we are contributing our money to the asset management company, and the mutual fund manager is taking a pool of money and then he is investing this money into different areas. So, what happens? There is huge volume of trade, and as you know, when the volume of trade increases, the per unit cost would decrease. So, this is how expenses would be less and it would be economical for the investor. It is convenient. Convenient means there are different kinds of mutual fund schemes, there are various types, innovative types depending on the needs, and the withdrawal options are also available. When you want to withdraw, you can easily withdraw. So, that is why it is convenient, and the payment options are also convenient for the investors. Now, we have discussed all the pros, it means there are various positives, but why it is said that mutual funds are risky? It is subject to the market risk. It means there is something which we need to observe carefully. So, there are the points which one should remember, that there are management and operating fee. So, this is the cost of purchasing mutual fund. There are various mutual fund companies which are providing mutual funds. We should consider what fees they are charging on purchasing and selling the units. Then there are advertisements. One should carefully analyze the advertisements published by the mutual fund companies, because the advertisement may not disclose all the details regarding the plan. There are too many choices. This is also very difficult because there are large number of mutual fund schemes. So, one who is not a market expert, who is not a finance expert, he may be confused like into what mutual fund he should invest. So, this become a problem for the investor. Now, let us discuss the net asset value. Now, what is the net asset value? Net asset value is the indicator of the performance of the mutual fund schemes or the asset management companies. What is the net asset value? It means the fund assets minus liabilities divided by total number of outstanding shares. What are the assets of the mutual fund? Assets are the securities. They are income securities, they are equities. So, the change in the value of the securities would be depicted in the fund assets. And then what are the liabilities? Liabilities are the expenses. So, if I say the fund assets are, this is the value of securities and the fund liabilities, this means the operating fee or management fee or the charges which mutual fund companies have to pay. So, when it is deducted, it is divided by the total number of outstanding shares. So, this becomes as indicator of the performance of the mutual fund. So, what is net asset value represent? It represents the funds per unit market value. Why I am saying market value? Because the value of securities would be changing on daily basis. So, it means the market value of the mutual fund would also be changing. So, if the assets are performing well, so the fund asset would increase and the NAV would increase, and if it is not performing well, then NAV would be decreasing. It means it is the price at which investor buy fund units from a fund company or sell it back to the fund house, because it represents the value of the assets, net value. This is how it is being calculated. This is now one point is to be remembered, that it is calculated by the mutual fund company itself or by some accounting firm hired by the mutual fund. Now, when this NAV value changes, this NAV is different than the market price. You must have heard about the market price of security on the stock exchange, but NAV is a different thing. NAV is to be provided by the mutual fund company on daily basis. It is provided at the end of the day. So, it is provided at the end of every market day on considering the closing market prices of the securities or the scheme. A daily change in NAV is being represented by the return. So, if NAV value is changing, so what is changing? The return is being changed. So, one should not only consider the NAV, he or she should also find out what is the return, whether the NAV is increasing or it is decreasing. It can be calculated by calculating the change in NAV on daily basis. There are some key players in the mutual fund industry. If you see, there are 140 schemes of SBI mutual fund, there are 210 schemes of Nippon India, there are 229 schemes of ICICI mutual fund. They have this much assets under management. So, this is representing the size of the mutual fund industry. If we say what is the history, mutual fund industry has started from 1964, since the launch of UTI in 1964, and then in 1987 public sector funds were started in the industry. Public sector funds, it was the SBI mutual fund which was the first public sector fund after the UTI, and in the third phase in 1993 the private sector has also been started, has allowed to enter into the mutual fund industry, and since 2003 the UTI has been bifurcated into 2 units. Now, there are around 40 asset management companies which are offering mutual funds in the industry. These are the current trends. We have currently this much assets under management, the huge number. What does it mean? It means there is 4 times increase in the asset management of the companies, in the assets under the management in a span of 10 years. There is more than 2 times increase in a span of 5 years. So, that is a good indication, but yes, in India the mutual fund penetration is very low. What does it mean? That mutual fund still is not being it has not been penetrated into the whole of the country. There are some selected cities where there is large number of mutual fund schemes or investment. If we compare this by US, so we are very far behind. Our GDP is only the portion of GDP from mutual fund is only 11%, while forward it is 55%. It means we are still not very developed into the mutual funds or into the penetration of the mutual fund. We have a campaign mutual funds Sahi Hai, which is launched by the government of India to increase the awareness and investment in the mutual fund industry. As per the data of AMFI, this is the current status of 45 fund houses in our country. So, this is how mutual fund is and how the industry is. So, these are the references. Thank you.